Hello, humans. My name is Thunder, and I has thoughts. Today we are going to look at a video from Classically Abby called 5 Lies the Left Tells Women That Make Me Furious. For those who don't know, Classically Abby is actually Ben Shapiro's sister. She is a religious Jewish woman who is married and has a child. I don't know much else about her. She touts her channel as classic living and traditional values, and she covers all sorts of different topics from inflammatory to fashion tips. So, I am a woman. Well, I'm not a woman. I'm a cat. But I live with a woman who is a leftist person, and I was curious if she had ever heard any of these lies and what her reaction might be. Now, I have to admit, I almost started watching this with the intention of writing a script with a proper reaction, but then I decided it would probably be a lot more fun to go in sight unseen. So all I know is her first talking point, and then I stopped it and I was like, no, you know what? I want to react live to this. So that out of the way, let's see what Abby says about lies the left tells women that make her furious. And I'm going to skip to where she starts that because there's just a little bit of a channel plug before.
In today's video, I want to talk about 5 things that the left tells women that just make me mad.
I want to comment. I'm going to be really, really nitpicky here, but the punctuation on this is maddening. You do you, comma, scratch that, comma, you do others. No, you do you is a complete sentence. You could put a semicolon there or a period, but not a comma. You know what? I love em dashes. I would be okay with an em dash there as like an interrupted thought. But the commas just make this a run-on sentence, and it makes me mad. So that's something that makes me furious, Abby. Misuse of commas.
Number 1. Why does the left insist on telling women that sex with random people is empowering?
I have never in my life been told that. I have been told that it's not necessarily bad to have sex with people outside of marriage. I should say, if you are not married. If you have sex outside of marriage and you don't have an agreement with your partner that that's okay, then that's cheating and that's certainly not okay. But as far as extramarital sex or premarital sex, I have definitely been told that there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. I have not been told that sex with random men is empowering. In fact, I was cautioned many times that I should be careful with the partners that I choose, that I should practice safe sex, that I should know how to use birth control and condoms correctly, and that I should be tested regularly for STIs if I do have multiple partners. But nowhere in there did they tell me that any of that was empowering. You know what's empowering? Is being in control of your own body and your own health.
It's not. It's just not. Having sex with one man who loves you, respects you, wants to have a family with you, that's empowering.
Sure, yeah, I have no problem with that. That is also empowering. Being loved feels fabulous. Having someone that you trust and who respects you and who you feel safe with, that's wonderful. I have no argument with that part of it. But that doesn't mean you have to be married to that person. You can feel comfortable with and feel safe with and feel loved by someone and not be married to them, and it's still okay to have sex with them. And if you are in such a relationship, that person is not random.
That's pretty awesome. Because you want to know what's really empowering is a guy who loves you enough to want to make you feel good, as opposed to a guy who wants to have a one-night stand and is looking for his own pleasure.
How do you know that he doesn't also enjoy giving me pleasure, Abby? Just saying.
Have you considered that? That a
I have considered that.
guy who is devoted to you, who loves you, who's going to spend his life with you, cares whether or not you are having fun.
I'm not going to get too into my own personal history here. I'm a cat. Cats have different rules. But, again, it's possible to have all of those things and not be married to that one person. It's also possible to have those things when you are married to one person. And I got news for you, Abby. It's also possible to not have those things and be married to the one person and feel trapped in a marriage you don't want to be in because you don't feel safe with that person. You don't feel respected by that person. And that person doesn't have any interest in making you feel good. There's two sides to every coin, Abby.
A guy who is never going to see you again cares if he is having fun. Which is more empowering? Which is more empowering? A situation where if you got pregnant, the guy was ready and willing to have children with you, is excited about it, wants to be the father of your children, or having sex with a guy who would absolutely panic if you told him that you were pregnant.
True. That's a fair point. That's why you need to be in control of your own birth control and be aware the birth control can fail and have a plan for what would happen if you did get pregnant.
And that this would be a big problem. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that having sex with people outside of marriage is not empowering. It's easy to convince yourself and lie to yourself and say, well, I like sex. So if I like sex, then it must be empowering for me to get it however I want it.
It can be. You're allowed to like sex, and you're allowed to get it and enjoy it. And if that does make you feel empowered, good for you.
No, that's just wrong, and it's stupid. Having sex with the person that you have chosen to build a life with, because, you know, sex is not just any other physical activity. It is a unique one. It is a special one that you share with one person, and that can lead to the creation of a baby. Yeah, keep that in marriage. Enjoy it with the person who loves you and cares about you. And stop treating sex like something you can do willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. Willy-nilly. Okay, I have a theory. We are all 8-year-old boys. Anyway.
You shouldn't, and you can't. And the left is...
Yes, you can.
Doing women a real disservice by trying to convince them that sex outside of marriage with everybody and anybody is empowering. It's not.
By the way, the thing that happens on the left as opposed to on the quote-unquote right, I'm saying this loosely, left and right, because it's not always true, but people on the left tend to support programs that give teenagers and adults the power to make informed decisions about what they do with their lives, sexually and otherwise, that people on the quote-unquote right, especially the religious right, of which I believe you are a part, would like to hide from people and tell them either don't have sex at all, or you're going to turn into a pregnant prostitute sleeping with everybody and anybody willy-nilly. You're setting up a false dichotomy. There is so much real estate in between those two possibilities of get married and only ever have sex with one person and sleep with everybody, every random person you run into. There's like an entire world in between those two sides.
And it makes me furious. Number 2.
You're not built for this.
Shout your...
Hey, since I criticized the punctuation in the first one, I should point out that she did use the correct your. Look. There it is. You're not built for this. Good job.
Number 2. Shout your abortion. Get an abortion.
Shout your abortion. Okay, yes, that is a thing, but it's not what you're making it out to be.
Have an abortion rather than have a baby.
Yeah.
It is good for women to have the option to murder their child.
I was kind of hoping she'd bring this up because I want to say this right here. It is legal in Judaism to have an abortion. Judaism does not have any laws against abortion. Abby, as a religious Jew, you should not be religiously opposed to abortion, especially, I believe it's in the first 40 days. The person, the pregnant person, the fetus, is not even considered to be alive. So you can spout your right-wing rhetoric and be anti-choice, but don't pretend it's because of your religious values, because it isn't one of your religious values. You are not a Christian. And in fact, I'm not even entirely sure that it's even anywhere in the Christian scriptures. I have read them and I know quite a lot about it, but it's become, the wedge issue for the religious right. And since Abby and her brother ride their coattails to fame and success, they have to spout those too. I am going to find the proof, by the way, of what I just said. So this is a website called My Jewish Learning, which is a fairly religious website talking about Jewish law and Jewish practice. So it's not a leftist article. And it says the Jewish position on abortion is nuanced, neither condoning it nor categorically prohibiting it. Most American Jews strongly support legalized abortion. 83% of American Jews, more than any other religious group, say abortion should be legal in all or most cases. However, Judaism's position on abortion is nuanced, and both principal camps in the American debate over abortion rights can claim support from Jewish texts. So, Jewish law does not share the belief common among abortion opponents that life begins at conception, nor does it legally consider the fetus to be a full person deserving of protections equal those accorded to human beings. In Jewish law, a fetus attains the status of a full person only at birth. Sources in the Talmud indicate that prior to 40 years, oh boy, can you imagine? Prior to 40 days of gestation, the fetus has an even more limited legal status, with one Talmudic authority, and here's the source, asserting that prior to 40 days, the fetus is mere water. Now, of course, we know from science that that's not true, but that's the Jewish position. Elsewhere, the Talmud indicates that the ancient rabbis regarded a fetus as part of its mother throughout the pregnancy, dependent fully on her for its life, a view that echoes the position that women should be free to make decisions concerning their own bodies. Now, obviously, feticide is prohibited by Jewish law. There is disagreement over the exact source of this prohibition and how serious it is. I mean, it would basically be considered murder, one would think. Jewish law explicitly permits abortions under very limited circumstances. The most common situation is where the mother's life is imperiled by her pregnancy. Some consider such an abortion not merely permissible, but mandatory. However, once the baby's head has emerged from the mother, in other words, she is actively giving birth, termination is no longer allowed. Because now it's its own life because it has taken a breath, theoretically. Although it actually hasn't taken a breath till it's all the way out, but that's okay. I don't think anybody advocates killing a baby that is halfway out the birth canal. I certainly don't. Short of clear threats to a mother's life, the permissibility of abortion is controversial in Jewish texts. There are orthodox rabbinic sources that support abortion when a mother's health is in danger, even if her life is not at risk. When a fetus is conclusively determined to suffer from severe abnormalities, when a mother's mental health is in danger, or when the pregnancy is the result of a forbidden sexual union. However, these rulings are not universally accepted. So let's see. The Torah does not address the issue directly. The principal biblical source for Jewish law on abortion is a passage in Exodus. Let's read it. Which says, when two or more parties fight and one of them pushes a pregnant woman and a miscarriage results but no other damage ensues, the one responsible shall be fined according as the woman's husband may exact the payment to be based on reckoning. But if other damage ensues, the penalty shall be life for life. In other words, causing a miscarriage is not considered murder. It's causing harm. It's basically kind of equated, I suppose, with property. In fact, it says right here, property damage. So the Mishnah says that if a pregnant woman is sentenced to death, the execution can go forward, provided she has not yet gone into labor. So I think that's sort of the point there, that whatever Abby's objections to abortion are, they're not because she's Jewish or related to her Jewish belief or practice. Either that or she is actively working against most rabbinic sources. All right, moving on.
So that they can pursue their careers. No, that's wrong. None of that.
That's wrong, because I say it is.
That's true. And this makes me so mad. Because number one, it's murder. Okay.
But it's not. It's not. It's not murder.
Get that off the table. Number two, no woman is better off for killing her child.
That's your opinion. You're using very loaded language. Many women are better off after having an abortion. Many are happy to not have to worry about having her life derailed or her health imperiled or her mental health imperiled by carrying a pregnancy she doesn't want to term. Pregnancy, and I say this because I have had babies, is very hard on your body. Very hard on your body. And it does put you at a disadvantage with your career, with your social life, with a lot of things, financially. And you know what? You don't get to choose on a case-by-case basis whether someone deserves an abortion or not. You either let everyone have one, or you let no one have one. I think you can tell which side of that I stand on.
Women can tell themselves that they are. They can tell themselves that they're better off for having killed their child so that they could have a more stable life. But women who abort their children know that it's a child.
So it's better to have a baby you didn't want, can't raise, might tear up your insides. I don't even say that in an exaggerated way. My body was destroyed by my pregnancies. Not destroyed literally, but there are problems I have now that I certainly did not have before having babies. I'll just put it that way. And an unwanted child is not going to be raised in a loving home. That's not to say that if you do choose to carry your pregnancy to term and have that baby, you won't fall in love with that baby and won't want to raise it. I'm not saying that at all. That happens often. I think something like 50% of pregnancies are unplanned. Unplanned does not equal unwanted. But there's just so much more nuance to this than she is bringing. And I'm not saying anything that anyone hasn't said before. It's infuriating.
They know, and it's their baby. And
can I just say, though, that I really love her eyeshadow? I'm really jealous of people that can do good eyeshadow.
And they're doing something harmful, not only to another person, but to themselves. Why don't we encourage women to embrace their natural strength as mothers?
But Abby, what if they got pregnant by having sex willy-nilly with lots of different men? What then?
Tell them that they can do this thing that seems so scary.
I agree with that. Women can do hard things. People can do hard things. In fact, one of the most pithy, succinct bits of advice I have ever heard in my entire life was somebody who simply said, "You can do hard things." I really like that. It really has helped me through hard times. You can do hard things. You get through it and you move forward. That doesn't mean you have to do hard things, Abby. It means you can do hard things. And I agree with you too, that support is absolutely vital.
Instead of telling them that they just can't handle it and that this isn't the right time, they should just get rid of this human.
The thing is that nobody's telling you you should have an abortion. Nobody's saying, oh, don't have that baby, get rid of it. They're saying, if you are in a situation where you are pregnant and don't want to have a baby, you should have the option to not have that pregnancy carried to term. That's what the left tells women. They're not saying, nobody is saying you have to have okay, actually, I should rephrase that. Unfortunately, there are people who have said you have to have an abortion. Those people are called eugenicists, and we don't want to agree with those people. They are not good people. But certainly the left, quote unquote, are not the ones saying you have to have an abortion, you should have an abortion, you are not capable of being a parent. Nobody is saying that.
That was put into their care by themselves, presumably, because in 99% of cases, women who get pregnant and want an abortion, it was because they had sex of their own volition and then were like, oh, whoops. Another reason why sex is not empowering. This is just a horrible lie that the left has perpetrated against women, that abortion is the best option or a good option or an option at all. Abortion is wrong. It's bad for women. It hurts them. And I truly am
Sorry.
furious about this.
I hit the spacebar by accident there. My bad. Are you even smart? Yes, I am smart. At least this one also is properly punctuated, although it's a little bit of a weird sentence.
Number 3, fulfill your potential. Fulfill your potential, ladies.
Is that bad? Is it bad to fulfill your potential? I don't understand.
You can't fulfill your potential unless you get out of the house. How are you going to show how smart you are unless you have an amazing career?
Again, nobody is saying that, Abby. Feminism, true feminism, modern feminism, says women should be able to, here's this word again, it's going to sneak up on you, Abby, be able to choose how they want to live their lives. Some women fulfill their potential by staying at home with their children and raising them into good people. And if you choose that path, honestly, I admire you. It's very hard. And you can still prove how smart you are and be an amazing person without a career. That's not a prerequisite. You can also fulfill your potential by having a career and becoming someone who is influential in some way, like you. You can even have both. You can be a stay-at-home parent and be someone who's influential. Abby?
I hate that. I hate that. Why can't a woman fulfill her potential at home raising her children?
She can.
What does potential even mean?
I don't know.
Why do I have to prove my potential to people who think of me as replaceable rather than fulfilling my potential to the little humans I am raising who I literally could not be replaced? Like, I was made to be their mother. They cannot replace me as their mother. So why do we tell women that the only way that they can fulfill their potential is outside of the home?
Was that a little bra adjustment? I appreciate how she talks with her hands, though. I talk with my hand. Well, I talk with my paws, and you can't see it right now, but I do.
In a job, in a career. I hate that kind of language because it makes it as though if you stay at home, you have failed.
No, you haven't.
Or you're not living up to how smart you are.
Not true.
Like, what are you talking about? The most important thing you can do is build a home and build your family. Like, why do we make it so that women have to show off that they have done something that is visibly fulfilling their potential?
I don't know, Abby. Why do you need to do something that is visibly showing that you're fulfilling your potential? Because it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good that you're having an impact on the world in some way. Or that you can buy pretty things. You know what? That's perfectly legitimate too.
And it's like, if any person can be a mother because you don't need a degree to get pregnant and have a baby, there's no credit given to the women who do motherhood well, who
Not true.
care about it and really put in effort.
I literally just said, a person on the left, a cat on the left, literally just said, I admire people who really, really want to stay home with their children and raise them into good people.
I hate that kind of language. No. You fulfill your potential by just being a good person.
I agree.
By being a good mother. You don't have to get this high-powered career to prove you're smart, or to prove you're ambitious, or to prove you did a good job.
But what if that's what makes you feel good about yourself?
Stupid. I hate that.
Love yourself, ladies. Okay.
Number 4, be body positive.
Oh no. Look at her. She's so mad about body positivity.
I hate this language. Okay, so here's my issue with this whole body positivity movement, and I've talked about this a lot. So, number 1, we encourage women to love their bodies, but not loving their bodies where they're at and for what they do, while also encouraging them to be healthy and lose weight or gain weight.
You can be healthy and not thin. You can be unhealthy and thin. I think she was about to say that, actually.
Needed, like,
gain weight if needed, sure. Well, all right, I'm going to let her keep going.
We encourage people to love their bodies where they're at.
Right. Because we get so many messages from the media about how we should look a certain way, and it causes eating disorders, it causes dysmorphia, it causes all kinds of issues for people who don't look that way or who can't wear the clothes that the people on the billboards are wearing. Learning to appreciate what your body can do is absolutely the purpose of the body positivity movement. Look how strong you are. You carried a child, or you rock those heels, or, you know, you can carry a 40-pound water bottle and replace the water thingy on the machine all by yourself. I mean, all of those things are body positive. Look what your body can do is literally the point of the body positivity movement.
And that's beautiful. But really, it's very unhealthy, and it doesn't encourage women to actually get to a healthy place with their bodies. And at the same time, we encourage women to be immodest all the time. Like, we put women in direct competition with each other by encouraging people to dress in a way that shows off their entire bodies. Like,
I actually agree with that. There is definitely something in the media that does pit women against each other. That's not a thing on the left. That's a thing of the entertainment industry, the fashion industry, and media, because it sells.
A fashion trend was a bra last season. You're just supposed to wear a bra out. And it's like, oh no, we're body positive because fat women and skinny women and curvy women and boyish women can all wear these things, and they should all wear these things. Who's going to look better in these things? Come on.
Well, that's the point, Abby. It should be how you feel wearing those things. How the person wearing it feels. I personally would not want to go out wearing just a bra, and never do. In fact, I very much enjoy wearing oversized hoodies and jeans that are comfortable. But that doesn't mean someone else shouldn't wear what makes her feel good about how she looks, and not what you think looks good on her.
Why are we putting people in direct competition with each other by encouraging them to expose their bodies when we're also telling them, like, love where you're at, you're so beautiful? We're not blind. People are smart. We can tell what's a healthier body than another. And
no, you can't. Someone who's heavy might be an amazing ballerina or can run a marathon. Someone who you might think is fat, and someone who is skinny might not be able to walk up the stairs without getting winded. You don't know how healthy someone is.
By exposing everything and encouraging people to expose everything, we're only doing a disservice to everybody. It's so stupid. I'm so against the immodesty of our culture for a lot of reasons, but like, this is one reason that I hate, because it's so, these two things are paradoxical, and they act like they're not, but they are. It's upsetting. On top of which, I mean, the whole idea that you have to expose yourself to show that you're confident.
You don't. That's not what it's about. You don't have to expose yourself to show that you're confident. You can wear what you want if it makes you feel good about how you look in it. If it's comfortable for you, or if it's appropriate to the situation, like maybe you're at the swimming pool, then probably you're wearing clothing or bathing suit that is appropriate for that venue. The thing is with Abby, what I'm finding is she has these nuggets of really good thoughts, really good things to say, but she buries them in her right-wing rhetoric. And honestly, it feels dishonest. It feels like she doesn't really believe what she's saying, because she comes out with these nuggets like, why are we pitting women against each other? Why are we putting people in competition? Right. You're right. Why are we doing that? You're 100% right about that. Explore that more.
Is so stupid. You can...
Also, you notice she can only describe things as infuriating, stupid, or maddening.
Be confident in your modesty. I cover up because I love my body and I respect it, and I only want to share it with one person who will show it the respect it deserves. Why do you get access, stranger on the internet, to my body and you don't care a lick about me? Like, no, we're not doing that. The body positivity movement, the immodesty of our era, like, I hate it. Just dress in a way that is attractive, not attracting.
Attractive, not attracting. Well, I mean, that's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
That gives people an opportunity to see your personality and doesn't make people focus on your boobs.
What if my personality is my boobs?
Give people an opportunity to exercise and get healthy and well. Yeah. Last
Not
but not
lonely,
least is
I'm
number 5.
independent.
Women don't need no man.
We don't.
I was talking to Jacob about this because this
I'm assuming Jacob is her husband.
concept bothers me so much. When we watch like girl power movies or movies that are directed towards women, there's so many these days that if they're not a chick flick, it's a movie where a woman needs to prove that she's independent at the end. So she doesn't have any man. She's like, look at me, I figured it out. I don't need any man to help me find myself because I'm so strong and empowered. But movies that are geared towards men that teach them lessons are like, you know what's really important? Family. You know what's really important? Your wife. Why do we do that for men, which is correct?
Because patriarchy, Abby.
And do the opposite for women. Like, why are we encouraging women?
Because women are raised to think by people like you that what makes them valuable is getting married and having babies and staying home to raise them. And men are taught that what makes them valuable is going out and being big, strong man, make lots of money, and not caring about women and not treating them with respect and not being good, loving fathers who assist at the childcare and around the house and do housework and all of the things that make a person a good partner. So the movies that are telling these stories that are trying to teach different values will have those opposite messages. That you can be a manly man and have your baby in a baby carrier and take them with you while you go about the grocery shopping and vacuuming. And the woman can go to work. And yes, this is very heteronormative, but that's the category we're in right now. That's what she's talking about. That the mother or the woman can indeed find fulfillment in life as what makes her happy, not what you think should make her happy.
To not look for that stability, that love, that home that will bring them happiness.
A lot of these are about women that were in a relationship where they were not being treated well, and what makes them empowered is finding the strength to leave that situation and end up in a place that does make her feel powerful and self-sustaining and self-confident.
I mean, I get the idea that men are more pulled in the direction of wanting to just like screw around and not really be at home theoretically. Like they want to be they're more bachelors.
Look, see, again, she gets it. She knows this. She's so dishonest. Abby, buck the trend.
And that women have more of a tendency to want to be married and have children. And so maybe they're trying to make those women who haven't found that yet feel better about themselves. But don't encourage women to make those decisions. Like, what? That's stupid. That's not good. It doesn't make anyone happy. I understand that we're trying to comfort those women who have not yet found this. But by making bad decisions, you're only making it harder for yourself to find a husband and to have children and have...
No, you're not. Because if you are a person who is comfortable with herself and happy in who she is and has what she wants from life, she will make a more attractive partner because she doesn't need to be codependent. because she's somebody who isn't just one half of another person. She's somebody who's a whole person. And if your partner does not respect that about you, why do you want that person as your partner?
Have a home life. Like, no, women are not better off by being independent
I am.
and going off without a man and not needing someone. Everybody needs a partner. Men need women, women need men. Done.
I will agree that people need support.
Solved. The mystery of the world has been solved. So stop telling women that they are better off on their own and that they're stronger on their own. No. Like, figure yourself out, but don't eschew men.
Ooh, eschew. That's a great word.
Men are very good for you. They will make you better and you will make them better. Good. Congratulations.
It's really funny when you can see Ben Shapiro coming out of her. You can see that they're related. It amuses me.
Oy.
The
left is really doing a disservice to women. So these are the 5 things that are making me furious today. I'd love to know in the comments, what's something that's making you furious that the left is trying?
You know what's making me furious, Abby? The dishonesty that has poured out of your mouth for the last 13 minutes and 7 seconds. That's what's making me furious.
To tell women. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings?
Also, does she live in this state of constant enragement? Because that's not healthy, Abby. Find something that makes you happy. Go play with your kid. Don't be furious about things that aren't even true. That's my life advice.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know.
All right, Abby, thank you so much for your opinions. You know what would make her videos better? Like, I think the editing is good. I like the lighting. I like her makeup. I think she speaks well. Like I said, I think she's really smart, and I think that she really does have a lot of insight, but she's so driven to stick to the right-wing talking points and the rhetoric, because she knows that's how she keeps her audience, that it just comes across as floundering for the words to say and the right amount of fury. She said she's furious, right? But what would make these videos better would be sources. Show me a person on the left saying the things that you say they're saying. Show me an article. Show me a video clip. Show me a study. You know why she doesn't? Because they don't exist. All right, humans, that's enough furious enragement for today. Take care of yourselves, go have a bath and a nap, and I'll see you next time.